Police! Suspect found! Show me hands! Get your hands in the air!
Dad, I haven't done anything! Which you later...
The film begins with a young man known as Luke Bascombe on a morning patrol with his partner, whose name is Misha Frank. They both discuss and laugh over Luke's son trying to bunk school before they get a report. With a squad, and immediately, they both storm into the Miller household.
Police!
The suspect here is their 13-year-old son, named Jaime Miller. Immediately, the team burst into their home with heavy weapon. Everyone in the home surrendered while Jaime is apprehended by the armed force.
Dad, I haven't done
Something
anything!
which you later...
The parents and his sister are shocked and scared as they all continue to yell in the background. However, Bascombe and the rest of the cops are kind to Jaime, who is having a breakdown. They gently explain his rights to him and tell him what to do. They are arresting Jaime on suspicion of murder. So apparently, he is accused of murdering someone with a kitchen knife. His parents are sure it is all certainly a mistake. Mrs. Miller is further confused about all this as Jaime is just a 13-year-old boy. They all took Jaime with them, so on their way, Bascombe tells Jaime to just be calm and relax. So after a short while of silence from Jaime, he began to tell Bascombe that he hasn't done anything, but Bascombe informed him that they will have this whole conversation at the station, as this is not the place or time to be speaking of such matter. Bascombe advised Jaime that when asked anything at the station, he should simply request for a solicitor, and he can speak about it to his parents when he gets to the station, as it won't make him seem more guilty. He also introduced Derek to Jaime, while also informing him that Derek will be his appropriate adult for the purpose of this arrest. Derek, on the other hand, tells him that he is from Doncaster Social Services. At the station, Jaime did in accordance to what he was told by Bascombe in regards to the request of a solicitor, and also asked for Eddie, who is his dad, to be his supervising adult. After which, Jaime is taken to his private cell. Meanwhile, Bascombe informed Eddie that his son Jaime has made him his appropriate adult, which means Eddie will be in the interview with his son, any blood taken by the nurse for examination, and those kind of stuff that need adult supervision. After the whole conversation, Mr. and Mrs. Miller continue to claim and believe all this is just a mistake. Soon after, the psychiatrist begins her assessment, and when Jaime requested for a lawyer so he wouldn't say the wrong thing, she concludes that he is bright and pretty clever.
I think you're a bright boy.
On the other hand, Bascombe continued to be more helpful as he helped them get the court-appointed lawyer, Paul Barlow. He discussed briefly with Jaime family before going into the station to meet with Bascombe. During the meeting, Paul is briefed in, and we get to find out that the murder took place at 10:13 p.m. the previous night and the arrest took place 25 minutes ago. So according to Bascombe, Jaime had scratches on his arm, and there is blood at the scene. After which, Bascombe is called immediately for an urgent matter. Back to Jaime, he is brought in to take his mugshot while his lawyer witness. After that, the nurse takes some sample to run some tests, including a sample of his blood. Then the cop took some of his fingerprints. During the prep, Paul advises Jaime to say no comment whenever he is unsure about his answer. As a trial, he asks Jaime where he was the previous night, and the boy says no comment. He further told Jaime that whenever the case is 50-50, he should just say the word no comment once they were done. Eddie meets with Paul privately as he is worried, and Paul hints that the cops have concrete evidence for them to bring in Jaime on just a report. He encouraged Eddie to be strong for his son. Eddie later go on to ask Jaime for the truth, and the boy insists he is innocent. He looks relieved that Eddie believed him. As soon as they were done, the interview with the cops begins. Jaime did in accordance to what he was told to do by Paul, the no comment treatment, until they bring out his Instagram. Jaime has had problems last year in school, despite being a smart student. He posts photos of models and makes aggressive innuendo comments. We discovered he is friends with Ryan and Tommy and claims whatever he does, Tommy makes him to do so. He informed Bascombe that he knew Tommy from year 1 and Ryan in year 4. When Bascombe continued to ask Jaime questions, he continued with a no comments treatment, so they began to bring evidence up. So one of the problems here is Jamie's shoe was found at the crime scene. A Katie Leonard is mentioned and Jaime asks if she is dead. Bascombe notes down that reaction, while Frank wonders if there was something sexual going on between the kids. Jaime insists he didn't see Katie last night. The cop says they reveal her body was found at Crowther's car park at 10:30 p.m. and she was stabbed 7 times, including in her chest. Jaime doesn't tell them the time he came home. Paul wants a break, but Eddie wants to get it over with. Unfortunately, there is CCTV footage of Tommy, Ryan, Jaime, and Katie at 7:43 p.m. at Meadow Square. At 9:43 p.m., the CCTV catches Jaime following Katie. This goes on till 9:47 p.m. After which, Jaime met with her at the car park, so from the CCTV footage, Katie pushes Jaime and he grabs her. He throws her to the ground and we see stabbing motions. Eddie himself began to cry while Bascombe pushes for a motive as to why Jaime did something like that. When Jaime gave no response, they all left the room. Jaime begs his dad to talk to him. Eddie flinches from his touch before hugging him. Jaime insists it wasn't him. 3 days later, the cops visit the school, and Tommy and Ryan look very nervous by this. Ryan keeps asking about the incident and the knife. But Tommy insisted that his parents have warned him not to talk about it, but Ryan doesn't want Jaime to get in trouble. Nearby, Bascombe's son, named Adam, gets bullied by a classmate called Fredo. However, the teachers are annoyed that the parents are worried about the student's safety since the crime happened outside. They also scoff at the idea of metal detectors and therapists for kids. At the other hand, some older kids want to mess up Jaime for killing Katie.
I said go fuck Jimmy up. Nah, mate, no point.
Bascombe questioned Katie's friend, named Jade. They wonder if Jaime was a friend since Katie left comments on his social media. This angers Jade, who doesn't understand why they are investigating as they have CCTV footage proving the whole crime. But Bascombe needs further evidence as they don't have the murder weapon or a motive. Jade is frustrated by their investigation and quickly storms off. The cops believe Jaime hid the knife at school since he walked past, according to the CCTV that night. Bascombe also wonders why Jade believed Katie hated Jaime. The cops then went in to question the class, and before they could proceed with the questioning, the school fire alarm goes off. The teachers believe it is a false alarm and are alarmingly lackadaisical about the whole thing. We figure out that Jamie's teacher, Malik, is a lost case as he doesn't take his job seriously.
You're a teacher. Yeah, but I teach history. When these kids are fucking impossible, I mean, what am I supposed to do?
While they all stood and wait, Jay proceeds to pick a fight with Ryan and calls him a murderer. Tommy, on the other hand, runs off in the chaos. Surprised by the incident, the cops question Ryan. Bascombe bonds with him as Ryan learns the cop was popular in school. He keeps asking if Bascombe hung out with girls. Bascombe humors him, but the moment he asks about the motive, Ryan shuts up. He gives vague answers before running off when the knife is mentioned. A moment later, Adam goes on to meet with his dad, insisting he wants to talk to him privately. We discover that they are actually quite distant. However, Adam believes Bascombe is embarrassing himself by assuming Katie and Jaime were friends because of their social comment. In a shocking twist, Adam reveals that Katie was actually cyberbullying Jaime by commenting emojis which mean incel. Bascombe doesn't believe his son, and a frustrated Adam tries to leave. Bascombe realizes that the same thing must be happening to his son and tries to comfort him. Adam is now uncomfortable, and so Bascombe lets him go. Shocked by this revelation, Bascombe goes to meet with his partner and the teacher to inform her that Katie was actually bullying Jaime. On their way, the cops rant about the state of the school, from the irresponsible teachers to the brash students. As the two continue their conversation, Frank is upset that the victim is always sidelined as society only cares about the killer and their motive. She is of the opinion that the cops always follow the killer rather than what the deceased had done to motivate the killer's action. Bascombe believes Frank is wrong and explains that the motive is the closure the victim and the bereaved deserve. So Bascombe go back into the class to talk to Ryan again, but the boy makes a run through the window, making a serious chase to ensues. Bascombe catches onto him. So Ryan claims Tommy knows more, but Bascombe has had enough as he believes Ryan was more close to Jaime than Tommy. After much pressure by Bascombe, Ryan finally reveals that he owned the knife which Jaime had used to commit the crime, and that Jaime was just supposed to scare Katie. Ryan is arrested for conspiracy to murder. Bascombe decides they have had enough and orders Frank to officially charge Jaime with murder. As the commotion dies down, Bascombe seems to be overwhelmed by this, as he head back to his car. The scene then cut, and we get to see an upset Eddie leaving some flowers for Katie where her body was found. So 7 months later, we see Jaime therapist named Bryony arriving for a session with Jaime, but just then she is told that Jaime has gotten into a fight with another inmate. So she went on to meet with Jaime. She gets him food and a drink that he likes, and the start of the session is pretty good. After a short while, Bryony leads the conversation by bringing up how she called her grandparents. She also discussed about Jaime's granddad being a pop man and the men of his family. So during this, Jaime feels that she is trying to trick him into talking about his feelings. She explains that she is on his side and she is not trying to trick him, plus her report on him will help the judge understand him and his motives better. We discover Jaime has serious mood swings as he goes from sincere playfulness to mocking. He gets annoyed when she asks about his feelings on his family and why he got into a fight. He claims that his opponent hit him first. In the quick repartee, he confesses that his dad is an angry man before backtracking that Eddie is not an abuser as he has never hit him. Jaime thinks Bryony is trying to get Eddie into trouble, but confesses that things are tense when it comes to sports. His father takes him to play football and feels ashamed every time Jaime makes a mistake, although his father Duke cheers him on when he does great. Just then, Jimmy expects Bryony to act like his dad after all he had said, but is soon confused when she doesn't. He's not able to get a read on Bryony, and that makes him want to lash out and say cruel things. But she doesn't take the bait. Jaime seems not to understand the mess he is in as he is placed in a training center. To Jaime, he just wants to either go home or be put in prison.
It's all accused. You need to sit down. I don't want to sit down.
He gets very furious, insisting that he would accept his punishment if he were an actual killer. He's also mad that Ryan get to stay at home until the actual trial. However, Bryony informed him that he is the accused. Jaime is having all this, so he then throws the glass and gets aggressive, shouting and swearing at Bryony till the guards show up.
I don't fucking want to sit down! Do not control my fucking... Look at me now!
He apologizes and asks for another drink. Bryony pretends to be calm, but once she is outside, it is obvious that Bryony is really overwhelmed. She then goes on to check the CCTV, and the CO wonders if she can get a read from Jaime's body language. However, on seeing that Jaime looks abashed, Bryony takes on an offensive approach. She barges in and makes it clear that his case is the priority. Jaime, on the other hand, is apologetic, but he once again gets defensive when she asks about his father and how he treats his mother. Jaime revealed to her that his dad has never for once hit his mom. In his ramblings, he ends up revealing that Katie's content, if you get what I mean here, were leaked. Turns out a classmate, Fidget, manipulates girls into sending him rated content, and then he shares them with the male classmates of the school. And Jaime is just annoyed that Fidget got caught, so he won't get such anymore. The conversation also got to the point where Bryony asked him about sexual attraction, and he claims no one likes him because he is ugly. So when she wonders why he feels ugly, Jaime gets defensive once more. He believes she is putting words in his mouth. He walked to her, looking toward her and trying to scare her.
Signal away like a fucking queen, yeah?
She is disturbed, but she calms him down by sympathizing with him for the bullying he and his friends face in school, especially Tommy being called Round Pound because his mom did her shopping at Poundland. Bryony wants to simply know why Katie targeted Jaime, and Jaime began to explain to Bryony that he didn't kill her, even though she deserved it as she was just a cruel girl. He reveals what went down as Jaime informed Bryony that after the leak, he apologized to Katie and asked her out, hoping that with everyone teasing her, she would be desperate for some positive attention. But unfortunately, she laughed at him and then started cyberbullying him. Bryony's eyes darken and he apologizes, saying he doesn't mean that. She tries to make him understand the severity of murder and then declares that it is their last session together. Jaime starts panicking as he doesn't want Bryony to go. He wants to know if she likes him and begs her not to tell his dad. Just then he starts to scream and bangs on the walls as he is dragged away.
Don't even let me be!
Jamie, come on, man, please.
Alright! Tell my God I'm okay!
On the other hand, Bryony is overwhelmed by the session and struggles to wrap up. 13 months later, which is Eddie's 50th birthday, his wife Amanda cooks him breakfast and they are loving. Jaime, on the other hand, sends a card with a drawing of Eddie, and it's obvious that Eddie wasn't happy. Just then, they are informed that their family van had been vandalized by someone. Their neighbors refuse to cooperate in identifying the culprits. Eddie, who is obviously pretending like everything is fine, is soon approached by Amanda, who forces him to address the problem in a room. Jaime is going to trial in 4 weeks. The system is hiding him, so the public is getting antsy and lashing out at them. His eldest daughter, Lisa, is upset and Amanda checks on her. They try to strike a conversation, but Lisa is frustrated. The insult is too much for them, as Jaime is a kid who made a mistake while Eddie is innocent. Later, Eddie go on to clean the message on his van, but it wasn't coming off. Just then, some teenagers passes by, before uttering the word "knots." Eddie went in and told his family they have to go to the supermarket to get supplies. However, they cheer Lisa up by bantering and planning an outing. Amanda reveals that Eddie used to love to dance and he never cared what anyone thought of him. He was also quite funny and used to make Amanda laugh. During their conversation, we discovered that they go to a couples therapist. They plan a cinema date and dinner for the night and end up reminiscing about their youth. Once they arrive at their destination, the mood changes as a worker recognizes Eddie. The paint won't wash off, so he needs to repaint the van. On top of that, the worker is a fan, claiming Jaime has been framed. Eddie walks straight out to pay, while also fuming inside. Once he was done with the payment, heads to the van. Unfortunately, he runs into the same kids from earlier. So he chased after them and caught one of them, and then rough-handled him, believing they have painted the van.
Listen to me, all right? You don't do that to people. Yeah. You don't know what the fuck I've been going through. Don't laugh at me. Go on,
As the boy runs off, Eddie decides to fix the van then and there. He throws the paint on the graffiti and causes a scene when a security guard stops him. So as they drive off, Jaime calls to wish his dad happy birthday.
Just wanted to say happy birthday.
Thanks for calling.
And just then, Jaime finally reveals to them that he is going to plead guilty, which simply confirms he killed Katie. Eddie is speechless, and Amanda fills in the silence. She and Lisa pretend everything is normal, but they are crying. Jaime is unaware as he awkwardly chats with them and hangs up. Once they got home, Lisa and Amanda are seriously worried for Eddie as he quietly went into their home. Later, Amanda finds Eddie getting ready for the movies and pretending everything is fine once again. They end up fighting again as she forces him to face the truth. He refuses as he cannot accept that Jaime is a killer. The tables turn as Amanda feels guilty for not seeing the signs and helping Jaime. During the whole discussion, Eddie revealed to his wife that his dad used to beat him, and he promised never to touch his kids. He wanted to do better, which is why he took Jaime to football to make him strong. The other dads and kids would laugh at Jaime, which is why Eddie couldn't bear to look. We learn that Jaime switches hobbies quite quickly from football to boxing to drawing. Once he got a computer, he stayed locked up in his room. Jaime parents wish that they could have done more for their son, Jaime. Amanda also believes that Jaime asked for Eddie as his supervisor during the arrest because he would protect him no matter what. Eddie confesses that he believed Jaime when he said he was innocent, despite seeing the CCTV. He wishes Amanda had been the supervisor so things would have been different. They are both interrupted by their daughter, who is now all dressed up for the outing. Eddie apologizes for the scene at the store, and she laughs it off as the boys are horrible. But she doesn't want to go out. She declares that Jaime will always be a part of their lives. So she decides to order takeout and watch a movie at home. Eddie is glad for her. As she and her mom went downstairs, Eddie goes to Jamie's room and starts crying at the end of show. Eddie then tucks in a teddy bear lying on the bed and calmly walks out. Having accepted the reality, the film then came to an end. Kindly subscribe for more recap like this. Thanks for watching and goodbye.